In this video, we're going to start working on actually building the kit that I purchased to put here. This is a stand-in building that I built a couple years ago. It's been standing in for Reckord Mill in Bel Air here for quite a while. And I'll put some pictures up on the screen of what the mill building still exists today in Bel Air, but this is the footprint of the kit that I bought. Was it Trainmaster's model? I forget. It's called the Utica Feed and Mill is the name of the kit, but this is the footprint, and it's going to go right here. I'll show you a picture of the Utica kit from their website, from some of the people who built it, and show you how it's, while it's nowhere near identical, but I think it has the same basic flavor. So someday I might like to scratch build the Reckord Mill as it is in reality, or as it was, but for now I think this Utica Mill feed kit's going to do the trick nicely. Okay, so here's the kit that I bought quite a while ago from the Trainmaster LLC Detailed Craftsman kits. We'll just dive right in and take a quick look at what's in the contents of the kit. So, got your walls. This is all just plywood. So, got your main walls here. A lot of miscellaneous pieces. It's such a mess in here because I've opened this kit up many times, gone through the instructions, trying to get a sense for how I got to go about putting this kit together. Not a super difficult build, but certainly not the simplest build either. So that's what's been putting me off. So many other projects to get done, and this is going to take a little bit of time. So today, just want to kind of get started and get the ball rolling on this, and it'll be a couple videos and probably several weeks in order to get this kit finished. So let me get this a little bit more organized. I'll get started on the bracing and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, making a little progress on the bracing so far. This has all been braced up and drawn according to the instructions and allowed to dry. So we will keep soldering on, and once we've got a little more progress done, I will check back in. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but I've gone in and drawn all the lines that will be used to line up the corrugated siding, which is what is on the outside walls of this building. Next step is I need to make the sign, trim the sign out, and then trace that onto the large wall so that I know where the corrugated siding needs to not be put. So you got to build the sign and have it ready. You don't install the sign, but you build the sign, get all the final dimensions of the sign, and then trace that onto the wall so that you know where the corrugated siding needs to be left open. So I will continue on and be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and I just went in a program called Inkscape and just created this simple sign. If you look at the sign that originally came with the kit, you might see a tremendous similarity. That's because this is about as far as my creative abilities go. So I just create a simple sign with a border, use the blue. I kind of like that. And so this sign now, what I also did while I was waiting for that to dry is that instructions said to draw a line 1/4 inch down from the top of this wall where the sign is going to get mounted. And then I measured across the width of the sign, so I know that I just need to take and center the sign on that wall like that, and then draw around it. And so there, now I have the area where I'm not going to put any corrugated siding, so that the sign will not be sitting up on the siding. It'll be mounted to the wall and the siding will be around it. So next step, I think, is to start getting started on the corrugated siding, but let me go back to the instructions, read a little farther, and we'll be back after we've made some more progress. Okay, as I started getting going on the corrugated siding, I found this little note inside the kit. Sorry for the wobbliness here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can read it. I don't know if you can read that on screen, but basically it says, due to changes of a supplier, the 6 foot tall corrugated siding is no longer available. We've included 12-inch wide corrugated siding, which you can use as is or cut to its length into 6-foot wide pieces. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't like the idea of using, let me see if I can show this now. Let me zoom out. So this is the corrugated siding they're talking about, and it's HO scale. It's 12 foot tall this way, so you could put it on these lines that we originally drew. I don't know if you can see those on the screen, are for the 6-foot panels. So now they're saying you could use it as the 12-foot panels and just do half of them, but then you would need a 6-foot at the top, and that seems kind of wonky. And I think 12-foot tall panels, maybe that's prototypical, not sure, but it doesn't seem reasonable to me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these in half. So to cut these in half, I need a little more light. Hopefully it won't be too bright on the screen. I'm going to take this, and these are basically 1 inch and 5/8 wide. So I'm going to go 6/8 plus 1/2 or 1/16. So I'm going to mark that right there. Then we'll do the same thing up here. 6 1/2. Then I can just take this. I'm using a brand new, and you really need a brand new blade for this to cut through this corrugated siding, because it is some kind of a metal. And I can double check my measurement here a little bit by looking for how much of the corrugated siding is sticking out past the ruler here and here. Just eyeballing it looks good. And so now I'll take, and I couple passes to get through it, and there you go. And so that's gives me my 6-inch wide panels, which now I will be able to put on here as originally intended and build this up. So I'm going to go cut all these, get some of this straight. Maybe once I get this first wall done, I'll check back in with you. I've got all the corrugated siding on this one wall. I've taped off where the downspout, grain downspout is. It's here it is, this little piece right here that will ultimately get glued on here. So per the instructions, I taped that off. I taped off all the tabs, and now I need to shoot this with a gray primer to simulate the dull color, according to the instructions, the dull color that these panels take on over time out in the weather. So be back after I get that done. And with that, this wall is done. There are some definite imperfections here. I've got a couple spots where I don't quite have the panels lined up perfectly, and a little bit of epoxy. Use 5-minute epoxy to put the panels onto the walls per the instructions, and even though I tried real hard not to do it, I did get it a couple places. Fortunately, this is the wall that faces away from the aisle. Nobody will ever see this wall once the structure is installed. So hopefully I've learned my lesson, and on the subsequent walls I'll be able to do a better job. So I'll turn the camera off, and I'll finish up getting all the rest of the walls completed. So that'll wrap it up for this first part of this video. Before the next video, I'll go ahead and complete the rest of the walls with the corrugated siding, and maybe move the project on a little bit farther, and then we'll build up in part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching.